This is just on Jonty James. Hello, my friends. This is the first episode of Just On in a while, and this is a special one. I spent time in China training Kung Fu for 3 months, from April through to the end of June 2024, and my roommate for 3 months, Sam, and I recorded this conversation to just decompress and share our journey in China and what's next in life. So I hope you'll enjoy this just as much as I did.
I don't know what to say on the podcast. It's been a long time, Sam.
Edward,
It's been a long time.
what if I'm not interesting enough?
Do I sit like this? Like this?
So, how are we doing today?
Yes. Like this? Oh, no, not like that.
Physical touch after 3 months is not a good idea on this podcast unless you want it super sticky.
Yes, okay. So, this is Just On with Jonty James.
Hello. I'm Jonty James. Nice to meet you guys.
And I'm Sam Howard Sneyd, or HS.
Nice. You got everyone gets my surname wrong, so thank you
Yeah,
very
and your
much.
middle name's what? Flower or Stinger?
It's Nigel Hurricane, actually, man.
Hurricane.
Yeah.
Stinger was pretty cool.
Stinger's pretty cool. Stinger's, yeah. Are they like types of airplane? No, I don't.
Sam, Nigel,
Hurricane.
Hurricane, Howard Sneyd.
Yeah, perfect.
Well.
Jonty James Coates Harrison.
Ooh,
Right?
Yeah.
I had to put in your information for so many websites. All the illegal ones that,
fair
you know,
enough.
we don't tell mother about.
Dealing my identity as well.
Don't check your credit card anytime soon, brother. Not till I've left at least.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Well, to serious matters.
Okay, yes.
Just
Non-Fu Spring,
Yeah,
our
Non-Fu
sponsor for the the fuck.
Yeah, just a shout out to Non-Fu Spring.
Yeah. Still water. They really know how to do it, guys.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah,
They always
really
fit it
well.
right to the top.
Yeah.
Like the opposite of a Walker's bag. You don't have Walkers, do you? You have Lays. Or do you have Walkers? The crisps. You know, the ones with the little like sun
I think they
logo?
are Lays, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think New Zealand and Australia have, I don't know, I don't really eat crisps.
I don't really eat crisps. I eat kettle crisps. I eat crisps. Kettle crisps.
Shout out to Kettle Crisps.
Tyrrell's kettle. You can send me some free bags. I'd be very okay with that.
Okay, well, our sponsor Non-Fu Spring has been an important caretaker for us in our time in China. Well, actually for me, Sam's been drinking tap water.
Yeah.
So
And I'm still here to tell the tale, which I think is
survived.
testament to my gut. Thank you very
At the
much.
start, I was very concerned for you.
Honestly, I think Nate said he had some and was ill for 10 days. And I just gosh, I'm not going to beat Nate on a podcast. So yeah, funny.
Well,
No, it saved my life because I drink a lot of water. Am I talking to you or am I talking to you? I'll just keep talking
doesn't
to
really
you.
matter. You can talk to this. You can talk to this. You can talk
just
to,
talk to
to
the
the
world.
spirit if you want.
Aren't we always talking to the spirit, John?
Yeah, all the time.
But I sweat a lot. I love how that's what I'm coming back to. I sweat a lot. So I drink a lot of water. And so I was like, if I'm having to buy bottled water all the time to drink, it's going to absolutely bankrupt me. So I just take it out of the tap and I'm absolutely fine.
Well,
Yeah.
well, congratulations for
Thank you very much,
surviving
mate.
on
Yeah.
tap water.
Mm.
I don't think I would have been able to.
No, you've got a delicate ecosystem, you know, John. You've got to have all your tinctures and your powders ready to go.
Not too many tinctures. Not too many
No, not
powders.
these days, man.
Just spring water.
Just spring water and watermelon. That's all you need.
watermelon.
And durian to give you that energy.
And durian. Yeah, a little bit of durian in the room.
Everyone knows when Johnny's had some durian.
Oh, the
Actually
durian
called you
bit.
Jurus. Clearing out
Oh,
buses, bro. Fucking incredible work.
Fuck.
It was so
Literally like just a little bit, and then just
You can watch the bus as people go, what is that? And it just like floats down the bus. Oh, it's so funny. George would turn around in front of me and go, what's this here with the bus? He'd go, oh, so funny. It was so funny, man.
and then I'd get back on the bus. He's like, "Please don't sit here. Please."
Yeah.
Don't
And
sit
I think he thought you were like hiding durian in your bag. He was like, where is it? Get it out. And you were like, I genuinely, it's in here, it's in my tummy. There's nowhere else.
I'm just trying to clear the gas in my stomach, George.
It was a birthday present, okay? Don't feel bad about it. I bought it for you and I was like, I fucked up everyone's day. That's so annoying, including my own. I hate it.
Oh, you did try. You did try it.
Yeah, I did. And I had to wash my mouth out.
Mm.
Yeah, I wish I liked it. I just don't. I'm sorry. It's one of the few moments we're different as people, Jonty. It's durian. It's our divider. It's our line in the sand.
divider. It's where we go our separate ways.
It's where I'm just imagining like, Fast and Furious, so they're driving along and the cars separated. That's like Jury, is where we just separate off on our own journey.
We came together for this special time, and unfortunately, the Durian has just
Got in the way.
Yeah.
Bifurcated us. Really good.
Wow. It's been an interesting 3 months.
It's been a very interesting 3 months, and it's coming to a close, which is weird. Yeah.
So what? I got here on the 2nd of April.
I arrived in China on the 2nd. I think I got here on the 4th.
On the 4th. Yeah, I remember you entering into the courtyard very, very vividly, actually. And we were training, and you came into the courtyard with your beanie on, with your slit glasses on.
Beanie on.
Yeah, and he was sort of like looking around, arms crossed, like, who the fuck are all these people? What is this place?
Judgmental prick, kind of fit, prick. Funny.
And then I found out you were my roommate.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy's got a cool vibe.
Yeah,
you know?
Similarly, man.
Yeah,
I think I lucked out. No, I've definitely lucked out with having you for a roommate. But at the beginning, it's like I didn't know anyone. And then I reckon if I could have been Kuni's roommate as well.
Yeah.
But I think most of the other people on this course, there would have been definite moments of like, not even like struggle. We'd get on, but it would just be like, you and I, it is effortless. It's very easy. Whereas other people, it's like you sort of have to make a bit more conversation. There'd be times you'd be sitting in the room and you'd be like, we should be talking about them. And we're just not. Whereas other times I'm sat with you and I'm like, can we both just shut up and go to bed? Because I'm fucking tired.
Where at the start, I'm like, okay, when I'm after meditating,
no talking. It's so funny. And then I just instantly respected it. I was like, fair enough, bro. You don't want to talk after meditation? I remember I felt there was that one time you were in the middle of meditation. I can't remember what I had to say to you. Oh, the toilet. The toilet wasn't filling up with water.
Yeah.
I sat for like a minute being like, when's the right time to interrupt him? I have to interrupt him because he might shit and then be like, oh, it's no toilet water. So I was like, Jonty, just to let you know, bro, sorry to interrupt your meditation.
Important matters.
I was like, I need to say it really quickly so it's done and you can get back to meditating. And I started stumbling over my words. Like, there's no, the cistern isn't filling up. So if you can stretch the shower head around, and it will fill it up. As you can trust to do. But I've left a full one in there, and then not a shit, a full load of water to flush the toilet. So yeah, enjoy meditating.
I'm like, cheers, bro.
You're just like, oh, dear, thanks, mate. And I was like, no.
No, but that was helpful. That was an important matter, especially when two men training a lot, eating a lot of food, and doing big shit.
Oh, Christ. I think I shit like 3 times a day. Oh, crazy. I remember I didn't shit for the first 5 days of being here.
True, probably just your body freaking out about arriving at Kung Fu school.
Well, my body, I think I told you this, my body did just, like, it really rebelled against me. From the moment I, like, set off to come here, it fully, I told this already, but the day before coming, I had friends who were meant to come over the night before to, like, have a big smoke up, have a big drink, sort of send me off. And I just had so much, like, anxiety, and I was crying all the day that I just had to, like, send them. I said, like, can you not come, actually? Because I don't think I'll be able to, like, I'm just not going to be a person. And it was like my body was so used to being comfortable and just sitting in my, like, funk that it suddenly realized, like, oh shit, he's actually leaving. Like, he's actually getting out of he's actually making efforts to get out of this, like, mental state. So let's throw the arsenal of, fucking come on, Gunners, the arsenal of, like, mental health shit at him to just keep him here. So it was like throwing all this anxiety and sadness. And it was such a strange, like, barrage of it. In the airport the next day, I was, like, sat writing, just, like, crying in the lounge. I was crying on the plane. It was so strange. And after, like, a week or so of being here, it started to, like, it just, like, lay there being like, okay, well, he's here now, so I guess you've got to make the best of it. But it was really weird. It was a very strange, like, eye-opening, oh, the body's actually not on my side. Like, it's actively trying to keep me here. And I think these 3 months have been a journey of trying to get my body back onto my side.
Oh, yeah. So why did you come here in the first place?
Things just weren't good, bro. Things just were not good in my life. They were not. I was not a happy bunny. And like I told you, my ex and I broke up because I wasn't well and I didn't want to poison our relationship by having that as the only light in my life, like having her as the person that made me happy, because that's just a very unfair. And to like leave that lovely, safe little bubble of us two, and then when I'm by myself, not be able to deal with life. It's not fair on me and it's not fair on her. So did that, realized that she was the only thing holding me together, so then fell apart for a while. And then sort of when I reached my rock bottom of sorts, was like, I've always wanted to get out of here and like just go away from a while. I was still living at my parents' place, which I've been in since I was a kid, and I was just stuck in my habits and my patterns, and I couldn't seem to break them. And so deciding I always knew I wanted to get away, and then being somewhere where there's a structure that forces discipline upon me, I was like, if I can just stick it out for 3 months and actually feel the difference in my mentality, in my physicality, in every facet of my life, from having just not even had to like every day wake up and be like, now I'm going to decide all these things for me. It's just all I have to do is get out of bed and stand in line up, and then the day happens and I just have to go with it and keep applying myself. And yeah, basically being like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of just being depressed and doing the same day and waking up at 12 o'clock and going to bed at 4 a.m. and just, like sleeping would be my escape. Sleeping would be like, well, the more I sleep, the less I have to be awake for. And that's a fucking horrible way to live life. So, yeah, I needed to get out of here and come here. What was your reason for coming?
Originally, I wanted to do Qigong in China because I'd been learning Qigong in the Gold Coast with a beautiful man named Mike, and he had a really beautiful way of sharing it and teaching it. And I had also done, funnily enough, learned more Qigong from another guy called Mike Chang as well on YouTube as well. So I've been doing a lot of that during COVID. Funny, 2 Mikes both teaching me Qigong. And funny that our Shifu's name is Michael as well.
But I thought you had like an English name that was Michael that I didn't know. Yeah, Shifu Yanjun, Shifu Michael Yanjun.
Michael-san. So from wanting to do that, and then I had been traveling to start doing martial arts,
Muay Thai
in Thailand, and then I was going to come do my yoga in India, and I wanted to come to China, and then I just discovered this, and I found that Sasha guy's profile.
Yeah,
I saw a video of him training. I think it was a video of him and Lucas or something training.
It was the press-ups in the river that got me.
I think it was the same one. Yeah, it was quite early on. I saw that, and I was like, oh, this is cool, and basically just sent an application in November last year. This looks fun. I'd really like to push myself, see how far I could go. At the start, I was like, oh, do a month, and then I was like, 3 months. I think 3 months is a good amount of time. Everything sort of transpired, and eventually made my way to Nepal and did my visa there, which was really easy, and it kind of just guided me to come here, and eventually made my way.
Followed your I Ching path.
Yeah, I didn't really have a deeper why. I guess more just wanting to really be physical.
Yeah.
And just really get back into being hyper physical in my body and having that structure, because I'd had that structure early on when I first started working out and gymming when I was sort of 18 years old to 23, 24, really, really structured, split workout programs, blah, 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 blah.
Did you do that yourself?
Yeah, I designed them all myself. And then I sort of went on a whole big journey of doing yoga and functional training and long distance running and cycling and all sorts of other different things. But then sort of lost an overall structure. It was all very intuitive. So I wanted to come back to a bit more structure and see how that would go. And it's been great. Having a lot of structure is incredible. Having too much structure, though, can be quite confining in a sense. So I think striking that balance between flow and structure is ultimately the part that I want to navigate.
Well, it's like the way you utilize your weekends, which I'm still remarkably in awe of, just how you get up that fucking early on a Saturday and a Sunday to go do yoga, and like you'll come back from it, and I'll be lying in bed, and you'll come back and be like, oh yeah, no, I'm awake. I'm getting on my day. Me too. I'm a good person. But like I get what you mean that in the weeks it is like, if you try and do other stuff, you're just going to knacker yourself for the rest of the days because you're up super early. You get that maybe hour and a half breakfast, sort of that little hour after breakfast, where I go do my meditation then, which I usually fall asleep for, and then And then lunch, you have, your 2.5 hours or whatever it is, but you got to have food. And then sometimes you're knackered and you just do need a nap. And then, if you try and do like a yoga session or something like that, then suddenly you've got to do the whole afternoon as well. And then you've got a class afterwards. And then you try and go to bed, but you can't get your 8 hours. Like it's nice to have the weekends, I guess, for you to be able to go like, okay, I've done the structured stuff. Now I can do my structure, which is getting up and doing your breath work or your yoga. Which, I've still gutted. I never joined. Actually, I'm not gutted and joined you. I wanted to sleep. I'm happy with sleeping. Yeah. Sleeping's my yoga.
Sleeping's my yoga. Yeah. Fair enough, Shavasana.
There's a funny difference between us as well, is how your perception of like a great night's sleep is go to sleep, wake up, get up. Whereas for me, it's like I need those moments where I wake up and I look at the clock and I go, well, I don't have to get up yet. I can go back to sleep, and I can do that like repeated times. Like I've told you, I'll have a dream and then I'll wake up at like 1 a.m, go for a wee, come back, have a new dream, wake up at 4 a.m, go for a wee. I'm not an old man. I just drink a lot of water. And like
drink a litre before bed.
Yeah, honestly, like actively in the evenings, I will go, I'm going to back some more water just to make sure. Because there was like 2 times where I went to sleep at like 9:30, 10, and I woke up at like 5. And I was like, are you kidding? Half an hour
for me.
Exactly. And I was like, that's hell for me. I'm like, I got really good at waking up and looking at the window and being like, it'd be my game. I'd go 3:28, and I'd look at the clock and it'd be like 3:36, and I'd be like, I'm close.
And I see a little bit of light.
Exactly. And I could tell, I'd be like, so it's that much light now. Maybe 5:06. And I'd look, 4:59. Okay. Getting better. And I've got better as it goes on. But I need those moments of, I don't know what it is.
Sleep.
It is, but it's. I think it is. It does speak something deeper in our psyches that is somewhat different. And maybe it's still a hangover of me and my relationship to sleep, which is a time where I don't have to be awake and dealing with my brain. Whereas I think you're further along the path of time when you're awake is some of your happiest time. Whereas time when I'm asleep, historically, has been a time where I'm happiest because I'm not having to deal with all the shit that's going on in my head. So I'm still trying to, I've definitely become a lot happier and more excited to be awake and enjoy the day. But I think that's still latent in my subconscious, is this idea that when I have more time to sleep, that's good time, because that's time where I can just like switch off and relax and enjoy life, because I can just be like, I don't have to worry about anything. I can just sleep. And then the closer I get to having to get up, it's like, okay. Okay, and then I get out of bed and I run into the shower and I turn it on cold and I go, morning, and I get in the shower and then it's like, whoa, okay, I can do the day. Here we go. But like, I think that's, maybe one day in a number of years' time, I will go to bed, I will wake up, I will leap out of bed the moment my alarm clock goes off and it's like time to start the day. But it's a journey, it's progress, I think.
Yeah, I've been in this phase where it's very hard to get out of the bed. Why do I have to get up?
Yeah.
And I guess over the years, I just eventually. It also depends. Like when I have something set that I have to get up for, and I'm like, okay, I want to meditate before I do this thing that I have to get up, and I want to do this process and this process. I'm like, boom. As soon as my alarm wakes up, I'm like, I need to get into action if I want to get all these things done, and in a time frame that doesn't stress me out, whereas if I try and wake up and everything's a rush and then I'm stressed and I had missed this, it's like I feel like that's just wasting my time. Whereas if I just wake up 20 minutes earlier and I'm just like, meditate, I go to the bathroom, I put my shoes on, really chill, and then I've got 5 minutes to get outside and start doing some movement before I run. I'm like, that's such a nice way to get up. And I think it's something as well, just one of those things, I think I have talked to you about this, is just that as soon as I wake up, I mean, like, today's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
And just
affirming it.
Every day trying to tell myself that. Today's going to be a good day. Today is a good day.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, but you think you do it straight away, which I find very impressive. I don't know if it's like a self-sabotaging thing or like a, what's it called? Like the masochistic thing where you're like just pushing through the pain or whatever. But like, I'll get up and be like, I'm fucking cold shower, cold, that's good, and then I'm awake. And then I'll get outside and line up and I'm still like, Shima! And then That's Chinese numbers, by the way, for the audience. That's not actually a Chinese number. I don't know what that was. Shiba. That's 18. Shiba. But then, when everyone else goes for their run, I'll go and do my solo run, and I run up that incline as fast as I can, because it's better for my knee. And then the moment I go to the top and I've recovered my breath, I will say aloud, like, "Good morning, Sam," and then I'll go, "What am I grateful for?" And then I'll I'll jog along and I'll be like, "Okay, I'm grateful for my body for getting me up. I'm also grateful for the fact that," and I was thinking that when you were saying about your getting up, that before I would have still had the whole like go to sleep, and then I would have not got up when I meant to get up and kept sleeping later and later and later and later. And the moment it was past the time I wanted to get up, I'd have already lost the day, and I'd be like, well, now I can go asleep. I'll sleep because I don't have to deal with the fact that I'm not up at this time. So even the fact that every day I do get up at the same time is progress. But it would be like, I'd be saying the things that I'm grateful for, and it's supposed to be the same thing, but like, I'm grateful for, like, actually a lot of time I'll be like, I'm grateful for Jonty, and I'm grateful for my roommate for setting a nice example of, and sometimes it's nice to have someone who's also like, "Oh, fuck it, I can't, I'm tired," and you're like, "Oh, you feel the same." But actually to have you be like, "Yeah, morning, what's going on, brother? Good morning, Sam." Like every morning I'm like, "Morning, Jonty," and like I join in with it as well, and it makes me feel better. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. I guess it is a choice, isn't it? It's like how Shifu says, like, every day you can wake up and you can have a bad day and it's still a day. Or you can wake up and have a good day and it's still, you've just had a day. Like, it's either a bad day or a good day in the balance of life. You want to have more good days than bad days. So just decide to have a fucking good day if you can. Yeah. And it does take me being on my own, doing that bit of like, "Oh, Christ, tired. But okay, what am I grateful for?" And I'll stand in the sun and then I'll come back down and then I'm like, okay, I'm feeling better. I'm ready to go. But
and I think the earlier you can do that in a day, the earlier you set yourself up to have a good day. Because you can we can change it at any point in the day, right? You know, you have moments in the day that suck, or something really goes wrong, when you stub your toe and you drop your bowl of cereal and spill shit everywhere, and then and you can let it go that way and get all frustrated, or you can just stop it right at that point and be like, hold up, flip it completely, and just go on a new trajectory. So yeah, I feel like throughout our time and our 3 months together, I've witnessed you shift a lot to be able to just be a lot more, I guess, relaxed and dropped into the experience. You know, at the start, there was a lot of, energy that was still lingering around, and everything seems a lot more flowy and embodied in a sense.
I think that's really nice, and it's I relate a lot of things to acting, because acting is a lot of what I do, and also a lot of drama school is teaching you about how you are as a person, because you've sort of got to learn who you are before you can learn to be other people. And one thing that I got when I was at Oxford School of Drama, which was my foundation course, so it was the first time at a proper drama school where they're really just good at what they do. And one of my teachers says that when she's watching me act, it feels like I'm here, but she's watching me here. And it's like I'm in front of myself. And I think it's something to do with control. And it's that if I can be here and controlling and sort of like out here and in front of it all, and like, this, out here, I'm not actually sitting back in myself and having it hit and coming from myself and being like, but this is this. This is this. No, this is this. As opposed to like, yes, this is this, which means, and you're like trying to control it by almost being ahead of everything and like trying to see into the future of the conversation and like fix everything. And to actually sit back and speak from here and speak from where you are and not speak from this protection place. It's almost like putting up a piece of glass in front of you and being the image on the glass talking, as opposed to being the person behind the glass that's, which means if someone shoots you with an arrow, you get hit. And that's hard, that's vulnerable. But that's what good acting and what good living is about, when someone says something, not just reacting how you think you should react in that moment, letting it hit you and be like, what does this make me do? It's like that, it's like the infinity loop of like something happens, a process changes, it comes into you, you respond, and it goes like that. And it's this constant flow of energy, into all of that. I'm gonna be home with my friends and I'm gonna be like, and they're gonna be like, so do we need to get someone for you? Are you okay? And I'm like, you just don't get it.
I think that is probably one of those funniest moments in our training.
Unfucking doubtedly. That was one of those sides things. That and you bending down to get your foot straps and pulling yourself deeper and letting out the cutest little fart. That for me, like no one else heard it or found it funny. That for me
Looked at you purposely
like here. Oh, that got me, bro. And the fact that like everyone else looked at us like, what's wrong with them? And then I explained it, and I genuinely thought people would go, "Oh, that is funny," and they were like, "Yeah, he farted," and like, okay. And I was like, "Oh, you just don't get it, guys. You know, on the same wavelength. So, sucks to be you, man."
on tangent, but to reflect on what you just said about, basically having the mask and being able to take the mask off and just fully be yourself. I feel in my time here, I've taken the mask off, or a lot of the masks off, you know, and just allowed myself to be silly and to be stupid but also to be serious at the same time. And I think that balance of being serious and being disciplined has actually opened me up to be more silly and playful when I'm outside of it and probably inside of it as well. Like we have lots of laughs during stretching and running and all sorts of other things during training. I honestly think I've laughed probably the most in my life, like being here.
Yeah.
Just constantly, every day, there's something funny to laugh about, whether it's Shifu pronouncing the names wrong or Shifu doing something funny. Or
Shifu is just funny, man. He's just funny.
Or someone miscounting in the line and having to do 100 push-ups.
Or like the way Xiaofei reacts to being hit. Like, oh, he's such a little drama queen, man. It's so funny. I think there was something you were saying about, what was it, about being serious or like just being yourself and allowing yourself to like be who you are in that moment. And I think it's something that I realized a lot. It's that feeling an expectation on you. I always really struggle with it. It's why I lied to all my friends about where I was coming. Yeah, I told my friends I'm in Germany at a meditation camp. Not in China, training Shaolin. But I think I struggle being perceived a lot and being perceived in a certain way and being tied to an identity. And so I had this whole thing of like, I would often try and focus on being fun more than having fun. I think I might have mentioned this to you, but I don't know, maybe I haven't. But good luck, mate. And it is a big difference because when you're trying to be fun, you're not actually sat there enjoying 谢谢 你学我的朋友 It's kind of like I just insulted him, but that was actually me saying you are my friend. Being fun is like that idea of I have to be this person, and in a moment where you might want to be a bit more serious or like not tell a joke or not laugh, you're just like and then I'd realize like, have I actually had fun that night? Have I actually had a good time myself, or have I been more concerned with being fun and being fun for people and being someone wanted to be around, and trying to shift that to actually being like, what is it for me to just have fun? And like, there are certain friends that I have where I know when we hang out, I'm just having fun, and it's so easy and it's so relaxed and it comes so naturally. And then other times when I'm with people and I'm like, I'm thinking too much about stuff. I'm not actually laughing heartily at this. I'm laughing because I think it's funny, or like I want to be accepted like that. And when you, like we do when we're just telling silly jokes or whatever, or we're just making stupid noises, and I'm not worried about what anyone else is thinking. Some people are almost certainly thinking, can they just shut up? Like, why did I have to stretch next to them today? They just don't stop. But I'm like, well, fuck you. You can move away if you want. We're stretching here. We're having a good time. So like, it's so much more refreshing. And I think it, like you said, it allows you to then, well, sometimes we're talking, like we're laughing at the wall, and then you were stretching me, and I was just angry about thinking about my ex all the time, and I was like crying a bit to myself. And it's because I felt the freedom to be able to be stretching with you and have a laugh, but then also in a moment where I'm actually not feeling like having a laugh and I'm not feeling funny. And I remember you were like laughing about something and I was just stony faced, and I was like, yeah, okay. And I felt a bit bad, but I was like, I just don't feel like that right now. And it then opened me up for like later in the day being able to like laugh my tits off at something, because I allowed it to pass through, you know?
And you weren't trying to pretend to ignore it and to be with it.
Yeah.
I think like me as well, in some of those moments we were stretching, it's been with my left leg. And I'm like, fuck, Sam, I'm feeling emotional right now. And I'm like kind of having this mini cry as you're pushing my leg high. And I'm like,
I'm going to keep pushing it. I'm not going to put it back because you're
like,
crying.
oh.
Yeah, let's work through it.
And it just sort of comes through my body. And I'm like, okay.
At the beginning, I was like, is he? Because you joke a lot. I was like, is he being funny? And I was like, no, he's going through something there, actually. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. Sometimes I felt like, I was stretching my leg and I'm like, am I feeling emotional? Isn't it going to be, I feel pain, man. I don't feel emotion there. I was like, fucking good on him. He's connected to his body.
And then you dropped my leg and I crippled to the ground.
Oh, the puppet having its strings.
And then I drop into Mabu and hold your leg.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm still in the same emotion.
Yeah. It's only like 2 minutes.
Wimping and letting it out.
Yeah.
And it does come out. It's nice because I don't hold it in.
Yeah.
And even there's other students around, I'm like,
yeah. I think that is important though. So I think I realized doing this thing called the Do lectures, which they're very prestigious and you have to be invited to them. But I volunteered at it, and it was just after my ex and I broke up. And for the first 3 days of volunteering, I was super, super sad. And instead of trying to have fun, I would just be stony faced and I'd go off after I was needed, and I'd like go right in a field and be sad. And like one of the saddest 3 days I've ever had in my life. And then the next 4 days at the festival of the talks, because I let it come through, were genuinely 4 of the best days of my life. Of listening to these amazing talks and talking to people about what was going on with me and what was happening, and not feeling all the sadness I felt before, but feeling a cathartic like release by talking to people and having them then share deep stuff about their life. And I had this thought at the end of like, you know, we're sort of just drains, and the more that you clog your drain up, the more that you don't process stuff and you don't allow it through and you sit it there, the less can pass through, and the more stuck you feel and the more you hold on to things and the more you like attach to stuff. And when you just let, you know, I'm imagining like a storm drain with twigs and leaves in it, right? And the more you just let them stuff flow through, things just keep flowing through, and that's beautiful because the only constant is the change of life. And if you get stuck trying to keep things the same, you end up just not moving with the flow of life. Things aren't passing through you. And if you can let yourself be a drain, your leg goes up, your leg hurts, you cry, you feel better. Like it's simple. It's the equation of life. Is like no animal is thinking about the kill they didn't get yesterday. Like, oh, bloody fuck. Oh. They're just like, where's the next kill? What am I going to do next? Exactly. I feel like most of life we just get in our own way, and it's trying to get out of it that is the harder thing for some reason.
Yeah, I really like that analogy. It's a old writing of mine. I talked about it like being a dam, you know, and just to let the dam gate, the floodgates open, and just to let it move through the body. And I was speaking to a client this morning and teaching him about emotions and how to feel his emotions, and to think about the feeling and feel the feeling of the thought, basically, and explaining how I think it's antelope or deer or one of these like animals that lives in the wild, when they get chased by a lion or a tiger or whatever, and it's a near escape, and they get away, they run off, and then they go stand somewhere and they shake and they tremor, and they for however long they need to do it, and then it disappears, and then they just carry on grazing. And there's all of them just being present on the grass. And so by having those processes and by just allowing that energy to come through the body in whatever way we need to, it just frees us.
Yeah, but remember you saying that one of your friends put up a story of his girlfriend got in a car crash or something, and they screamed for like 10 seconds or something, got it all out, and then got out of the car, dealt with everything, was very calm, did all they needed to do. And it's like a similar thing. You have that moment of just like, fucking get it out of me in whatever form that takes. I love that idea of like an antelope just like shaking in that like adrenaline high fear, and then being like, okay, shook that out, back on with life, on with life. Like, yeah, like a lot of people just hold on to things for too long. It's where like so much hate comes from, you know? It's holding on to things.
Just attaching to it. And then that's what manifests as disease, right? Think about, I mean, if we go into the meridians like we've been learning in our classes here, and this flow of energy and chi around our body, if somewhere gets blocked up and then there's an emotion attached to that, and that gets blocked up for years and years and years, of course that's going to manifest in some type of physical illness or disease.
Yeah.
Whether it's cancer, whether it's a clogged artery or whatever it may possibly be.
Because there is the mind-body connection is, it's really fascinating in terms of, you think like, you sort of understand they're connected, right? Because you have that proprioception, you can do that and touch your nose with your eyes closed. But especially being somewhere like here, the times where I've been the most stuck in my head, the most depressed, the most sort of lethargic is when I'm just lying at home, smoking a joint, watching TV, not doing anything, waking up late. When my body doesn't move is when my mind doesn't move and I get stuck on things. And I remember in my diary, which I brought with me here to keep writing it, I remember telling you near the beginning, I looked back from like, I think it was beginning of COVID when I sort of started it, all the way through to coming here. And I read through some of the pages. You could pretty much take any page from anywhere in that diary and put it somewhere else and it wouldn't look out of place.
It'd be the same.
It was the same. It was the same issues. I'm not doing anything. I'm unmotivated. I'm not living life the way I want to. I'm not getting up early enough. I'm not doing the things I want to be doing. It was all the same. And since coming here, at the beginning, there'd be times where I'm like, yeah, I'm struggling to get up. I'm struggling to feel the motivation. On the weekend, I'm just sleeping. But then after like 2 or 3 weeks, it was like, actually, it was like I sort of broke through that and was like, what are the other things that are wrong? Or like, what are the other things that I'm enjoying in life? And I started to write about different things. And if you try and put that somewhere else, you'd be like, who started writing in his diary? Like, and it's not that,
what happened?
yeah, what happened in this week? What happened there?
Who did?
Who did? Yeah. And it was really mad to just think, like, it was really sad as well to just read through my diary and be like, you've written the answer of what you need to do every single day. At the end of your paragraphs, you'll be like, so just get up early, go outside, do a meditation. And it's like 2-3 years later, you're still saying, why can't I do this? And I was just stuck on it for so long, just cycling through. And I'd have moments like when I'm doing a musical where I'd be dancing a lot and using a lot of physical exercise and I'd be feeling really happy. And then the musical would finish and I wouldn't have the motivation to just make myself do it. And I guess this is now my test, which is when I come back to the UK, it's not even a let's see if I can do it. I know I will because I want to. And I've really felt that being here has cemented that lesson of, if I'm not happy and things are going wrong and I'm not moving and I'm not getting out and I'm not being outside, then it's my own fucking fault that I'm not happy because I know what to do and I'm actively deciding not to do it. If I'm doing all the good stuff and I'm really still not happy, okay, there's something wrong there. Let's have a little look. Let's dive deeper. But if I'm doing the same shit I've always done and I'm still facing the same problems, then I'm the fucking idiot for not changing that. And it's my fault and I should be blamed for it because I know now, like, I've come here and I feel so much better. I wake up and it's not within the first 2 minutes am I super happy and ready to go. And I always find mornings slightly difficult, but by lunch every day I'm in a good fucking mood. And I just need to know now and take that through and take that back home. And those moments, like I've said to you, it's the voice that is that quiet voice in my head that goes like, come on, Sam, come on, brother. You know what you need to do. Like, come on, just get up. Everyone's doing their run and I'm like, oh, should I do my 40 press? Maybe I'll just do 30. And I get to 30 and the voice says, come on, man, you can do 10 more. And I'm like, 5. Oh, okay. Let's just pause for a second. Let's do the last 5. And the last one is, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, well done. You did it. You did your 40.
Did it again.
Good man. You did it again. Take another day off. And it's simple. Keep it simple and it works. But it's just so hard to get, I don't know, you know it, but then doing it is different, even though it doesn't feel like it is. It is more of a struggle, I think.
I think it's a good segue, and I really appreciate your insight into this too. What you shared with me the other day, one of your learnings or your biggest takeaways from here, when you were carrying the rock down the hill. You like to dive into that a little bit.
Which one was I talking about?
No pain.
Oh yeah. That was a couple of weeks ago that it was because when Hans was running past me. Feel pain, be happy.
Feel pain, be happy.
And it was because we were being cavemen going like, oh, man carry a big rock.
Carry a big rock.
Very big rock.
Yeah,
Ooh,
down
good,
the hill.
big smile. Happy caveman. And then Hans goes past and goes, feel pain, be happy. And I was like, but just feel pain, be happy. Oh shit, that's pretty good actually. Feel pain, be happy. And I started to think about it in like loads of different forms, like, you know,
Applying it.
yeah, like
It's like one of those
actively-
calculations popping up in your head.
Happy fail, happy pain fail, happy. Oh my tick, 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 tick. All the equations coming up green. Like, my God, I found the key. It just fits in there, and all the cogs start turning. Oh, the vault opens. But it was, yeah, it's, you know, whether it's like the drain thing for being emotional pain. Feel it, feel the pain, and then be happy. Or, you know, then something is genuinely awful that happens, and feeling it, and then being like, okay, I could decide to wallow in this. And I think there is definitely a place. I've said this before. I feel like happiness is a very light emotion, and peace and joy is a very light emotion. And the world is a very tactile place. And so sadness and wallowing in something and listening to that sad music, I feel like it weighs you down. It makes you feel heavy. But in some respects, that is refreshing because it ties you to material things, and it helps you feel rounded in life and alive, because you're like, I'm here, I can feel it, I can feel my weight, I can feel just like I can feel this. And I think you need a balance of, you know, feeling that light, almost like you could float off the earth in a meditation, and that balance of like, I'm sitting on a bus with the rain and I'm listening to the music and no one loves me, and whatever it is.
Just being
Or like,
grounded.
Yeah, just being super like heavy and feeling like a part of the earth again, like you're part of
Melting into it.
into the world around you. But choosing to like feel that, but then instead of being like, okay, this is now me, then when something like, you know, I don't know, someone trips over running for the bus and you're like, that's kind of funny, or whatever, like what it is. Unless they're all actually funny and no. It's like making that decision to be like, okay, I'm gonna stop being like blah, 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 or like I'm gonna go for that walk and I'm gonna look at that, and I'm not gonna actively sort of tend myself towards that sadness. I'm gonna go, yeah, you know what? Let's just breathe a bit more, start to feel happy. Yeah, just like, and allow, or not even like choose to be happy, but just choose to be here. And then if happiness arrives, and happiness arrives, and you let yourself go to that. And because sometimes, you know, I'll feel guilty when I'm feeling sad or whatever, and then something makes me laugh. Like, even if it's just me, like I drop something and yogurt goes everywhere. And that can often be a time when you'll just get really mad, but sometimes you'll just laugh and you'll be like, fuck it. Like, I'm literally so upset. I've just dropped a yogurt and I'm about to cry over a yogurt. Like, what am I like? It is ridiculous. Who are you? And having that brevity, because it often doesn't feel like a choice to be a certain way. But I think if you tell yourself it's not a choice, then you feel at the whim of everything. But if you can have that mental fortitude to be like, no, you know what?
Constantly choose.
Yeah, it's like what you do in the morning. You're like, I'm gonna have a good day. And today's a good day. Today's a good day. Today's a good day. Even if you know you've lost your crypto's gone down the drain, and they've told you that you've got a new roommate and he likes to play Xbox until 3 a.m. or whatever. Just being like, no, you know what? Today is a good day. Just choosing. Yeah, snapping into it. Yeah, I'll see if I can try and implement that.
Easy peasy. Well, I'll be on your case if you're not.
Please.
Sending you some voice notes.
Good morning, Sam.
Just you in New Zealand, like working out what time I should be awake and sending me a message. I'm like, what's Jonty saying? Morning, Jonty. I do feel bad.
Get someone to hack into your phone and make it your,
My
make it your ring.
Change it every
ring
day.
your phone. Like,
Morning. Honestly, that would make me very happy. I'd like that a lot.
so what's next?
That's
The journey.
bloody good question, mate. Go back to the United Kingdom. Watch.
You're from the UK.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh.
You can never tell my accent, could you, brother?
I
I
thought you were
know.
from the US though.
Yeah, I've actually I had to leave my guns at home. It was very sad for me. So in case they take them away, I've decided to make my body the weapon. That's why I came here. Was it Z? Yeah, go back home, watch some of the Euros, have some pints with my friends in a pub watching football. Very excited for that.
Couldn't be any more
Really, very
fucking
excited. I know, right? But honestly, I'm so excited. Like I've specifically not had any like
Bangers and mash.
Luke has fish and chips, man. How can I have anything? Fish and chips. Bangers and mash is great, but fish and chips is
Right.
like Luke has had a lovely proper British tea every day, and I've specifically never asked him for one because like I want to go home and have a nice tea as well. But moving out of my parents' place because it's been very handy to have that as a base because I always knew I wanted to go away first, and now I can move out, which is great. And then I think I'm gonna still take a pause. Oh, I've got a bite. Take a pause on the acting thing for a bit because I've really enjoyed not thinking about that and just being able to like work out how to exist better before I throw career and all that sort of stuff into the mix. So yeah, moving out, developing a nice routine at home, like actually being able to like get up, go out to the park, do some of this stuff, do some meditation, keeping myself fit as well, because that is something I think one of the things I'm happiest about from coming here, and it is somewhat superficial, but is the change in my body from being here. I put on 10 kilograms. I feel a lot stronger. I feel like I have more meat to me. Like I'm more of you can't see all my ribs all the time now. I look less like a walking corpse, which is nice. So I think keeping that going, and even though it is painful doing the press ups every day, like, and the pull ups and everything, being able to actually arrive at the beginning and be like, I can do 15 to 20 press ups maximum, and I can do 3 or 4 pull ups. To now I can do, last night I did 46 press ups and I did 10 pull ups. And it's like, that is tangible. Like I couldn't feel the difference day to day, but from back then to now, I can see that when I get up to that thing and I pull myself up, that first pull up is easy. It's easy. I'm like, okay, shoulders like banging into the branches. And I'm like, bloody hell, fucking calm down, mate. Don't know my own strength. And then like lower myself down and getting to the end and be like, yeah, I can. I'm like here, and I'm like, I can't do it. And then I'm like, no, I can bloody do it. Yeah. Wow. It's good. And I really enjoyed the regularity of that and seeing how it's paid off by being able to like look in the mirror and be like, shit, I actually have like shoulders. That's quite cool.
3 months, right?
Yeah.
Not even 3 months yet. It's pretty crazy.
2.5 months. Like, I mean, I think I've got a decent-ish build for it. And I think I was, very much just very little muscle on my build. So it looks like it's changed quite a bit because I've just put on a bit more padding there. But just keeping that going. I think for me, just coming back and actually sorting out my habits, and it's a big difference for me being able to do it out here compared to being able to do it back home, when the environment and the context cues around me are telling me how I have always previously existed in this space. And having to change that and being like, I no longer want to relate this room to doing this, or waking up to this in this space to doing this, being able to be like, no, I choose actively to change how I relate to this environment. And now when I wake up, it might even be a case of, because I will go back to my parents' house while I'm looking for someone to move in, I think I'm going to move the bed around, put the bed in a different part of the room.
Do things differently.
Yeah, so that when I wake up, I'm not seeing the same thing I've seen every day. I'm like, okay. And I remember, I moved this bed. Why did I move this bed? I moved it because I don't want to wake up the same way I've woken up every time the bed was over there. I wake up and I go, oh yeah, something's different. What's different? My mentality, because I changed the room and I changed the space to reflect how I want to change my relationship with it. So I can get up and get out.
And get a big poster of Shifu and put it on your roof or something. So you wake up, you just see Shifu's
Get one of
face.
those ones in like Harry Potter where it's like a moving poster and he's just going like, that'll make me feel good. Just get him up. I'll probably wake up. I'm me too for Oh, okay. I'm me too for. Off we go. And then I might look at. It's good to have like a solid second job as an actor. And I'm thinking about being a tree surgeon because I love climbing trees. Yeah, we're losing him quick.
Let's peel back the layers.
Time of death, 505. But yeah, because it pays really well. It's
like
also
an
out in
arborist.
nature. Yeah. Tree. They call them tree surgeons.
Just going chop trees down? Or?
Yeah, or if there's a tree that's got like some dead limbs, or it's like hanging over someone's property, you go and you'll attach a rope to a branch and you'll cut it so that the rope you can like
safe,
swing it down.
Okay.
In urban areas, it's used a lot because if you just chop a tree down, it could crush someone's house, right? So it's a very specialized skill. But there are like month-long courses you can do where you can pretty much get officiated into the beginning parts of it. Pays very well.
Outdoors.
It's outdoors. There's also a lot of use for it around
All the
London.
trees as well.
It's nice. I've never been out.
Stroke
We're
the trees.
taking care of you, buddy. You're going to be a big, strong tree after this. Not that you're not a big, strong tree now. And it's like, it's flexible as well, you know? So I can be like, okay, guys, I'm filming this for a couple months. So, I'll be back there. And then if you've got work for me, I'll come along to the job site. But just having another job that isn't just working in the service industry, which I've done for such a long amount of time in so many different varieties of it. I think that's my plan. What about yours?
Cool.
More coaching?
I am heading to Bali to see some of my best lads
Set
over
up some
there.
slack lines.
Some
High line, what do you
some
call
high
them?
lines,
High lines.
and hang out, do some hikes.
Every line's a high line when you're high.
Yeah, that's a good line.
Thank you.
Send
Shifu
to the
told
boys.
us.
Shifu-
He's
part-
really good English, actually.
part of it
He's been
is
hiding it. He's under the surface. He's really good at English.
And then, continue coaching. And I'll be with a friend who's doing similar stuff, and we're going to, not force each other, but encourage each other to really get into creation mode. And kind of, my idea is to bring everything that I had created before traveling and then combine it with everything that I've learned while traveling and serve through that way. And there's 3 words that I wrote down for this year, which were devotion, creation, and service. As my guiding words, which I've done the past few years. I've created words for my year, and
That's nice.
I guess by being devoted to myself, I can be in more of a creative state, and I can create more. And then by being devoted and creating more, I can be more of service to people. And ultimately, I've realized as I'm getting older that being of service is what really fulfills me and fills me up.
Of service to others, to the community?
Oh, yeah, to others. Yeah, like serving the greater good.
Yeah.
And whether that can just be by being a good person, by not littering, by smiling at everyone that you pass by just sending your love, even just with your thoughts to people that you pass by, to serving clients, to serving your community, to giving back in whatever way. In my way, serving clients, coaching, and to get back into coaching. Obviously, I offered some free coaching and doing that with 5 people at the moment, and we'll just continue to build on that and grow.
Are you going to keep yourself hopping around doing it remotely, or are you going to go back to...
That's the idea, yeah.
That's really sick.
I see at least 3 years of travel for this total stint is what I've sort of seen as a
That
vision.
is so cool, though. Like, I don't know, just thinking about... Because not only are you doing something that's good for people, it's not just good for you traveling, but like, you're doing the traveling, which is good for you, but you're funding that through genuinely helping out people, trying to be of service to people. And also, I think the more that you are in service to yourself and looking after yourself and keeping yourself interested in life and keeping yourself happy, the better you can be to serve other people as well. It's like a positive feedback cycle.
My concept of self-mastery is pretty much that. The stronger I can make myself, and the higher vibration I can exist in terms of my being and my energy and the way I eat and the way I exercise and all these things, the more I can serve others.
That's something that one of the first books I read on acting is a book called Presence by Patsy Rodenberg, who is a phenomenal teacher at Guildhall. And he has this philosophy of the circles of presence. Now, first circle energy is when you talk to people and their energy goes sort of within themselves, right? You're talking and they're a bit like, they're not really reaching out to you. They're not really reaching you with what they're saying. It's all quite internal, and it's quite, like it's held, and they might be speaking quite quiet, they might be a bit more shy. Then you've got third circle energy, which is people who talk sort of through you. And they're like, everything is to the outside. It's all out here. It kind of like bowls over you. It's like it's trying to reach someone at the back of the room who isn't there with their energy, and it's not really connecting to you. And then you've got second circle energy, which is when you're sat and you're talking to someone, that you're receiving and you're giving, and you're just this lovely mix of you're talking to the person. You're not talking like out here and being like, and then they said, like, what are you talking about? And then not also being like, I don't know, and then everyone was fine with me, and it was kind of cool. You're just talking to someone. And that is lovely, knowing, and you want to exist in second circle. But what she talks about being difficult, I find pretty difficult. is that I think I like to exist in a state of second circle energy. And when I'm with you, I find it very easy to talk like that. But I get dragged into other people's energies quite easily. So if someone's talking big like that, I'll feel the need to talk big with them like that. If someone's feeling kind of shy, I find it easier talking to people who are a bit more in the first circle, because then I can feel like if I'm talking to you, maybe I can bring you into my energy in it. But a lot of the time I feel like I tend to getting brought into someone else's energy. I'm trying to have a sense of self and a fortitude in an okayness with where I am, that I'm okay with being in my state of energy. And if you're going to keep being your way and you're not going to come down to mine, that's okay. I'll stay with me and I'll stay here, but not feeling the need to ramp up to their level. Whereas I feel like you a lot of the time will just stay as you are. And I do not envy that, but I admire it. And I think it's something that I need to work on. I find often I can tell how I'm feeling in a conversation by how my abs are feeling. And if I'm when I'm talking or when I'm listening, I can feel them tightening. I can feel myself. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to be in front of myself again. Yeah. Whereas when I'm actually sitting here and I'm breathing and someone says something and I take a second, I say something back without the need to chill straight in myself. I feel like that's a really helpful way of looking at things.
Yeah, and I guess it's tuned back into yourself constantly. Just say, where am I? Where am I at? Like even during these conversations with podcasts, I'll have moments where all of a sudden my thought and my awareness will go to how my posture is or something in the distance or something. And then and then I had to regain, take that breath and come back into focusing on the conversation and the person and what they're saying, and so that's that whole journey of just constantly coming back to presence, right? And allowing your true essence to exist.
Yeah.
Any final words? Any final great words of wisdom from Mr. Samuel?
Like so many, we just don't have time for them all. I don't know, man. I think life is it feels very tricky sometimes. It feels very complicated. But just sticking to the simple things keeps you happy. And I think just that main thing of we just get in our own way. And so much of the time when you're in a conversation, you're feeling wake up and, those moments where you don't feel connected, where you feel a bit rootless, where you feel a bit like nothing's going. I mean, it's something I've had in all of my trips that have felt important. There's this underlying message that everything that I need is already here. It's already within me, and it's already, it's all there. Everything's already there. You don't need to strive for anything. It's already here. And you forget that. And you forget that you think that you need more around you. You think that you need all this, or that the thing outside of you is the thing that you need. And you're in a conversation, you think that I'm not being enough. You are. Just being there, being in the conversation, just talking, you are enough. And the more you can rely and trust on your own energy resource, and that what you have going on is enough, and anything you think you need is already there, the easier everything becomes. The easier talking becomes, the easier waking up becomes, the easier doing things with your day becomes. Just that trusting of yourself, that bottle is about to pop the edge. Clink up, whatever it is. And I just leave it, mate. Just, you fuck it. I didn't even kick it off. It's coming back. Yeah. So what about you? If you got any last words of wisdom?
Feel pain, be happy. This is one that I just came up with recently. Feel pain, be happy.
Feel pain, be happy. You should write that one down. Right? Get a little TM by that.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, brother. Please.
Yeah, thank you.
Careful, Cole.
Save that one.
Cheers, brother. That was lovely. Very nice. Look at our little wristbands as well. See that camera? That's brotherhood, that is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 1 cent Chinese wristbands.
$1 yuan, brother. Very expensive.